Now let us enter to the session 3 of Fourier integrals and transforms. In this session, we are going to deal with Fourier transforms and its inverse. We are going to study the formula of Fourier transform and its inverse, and some solved problems, and an exercise set for you is there in this session. We know our Fourier integral representation as f of x is equal to integral 0 to infinity a of omega cos omega x plus b of omega sin omega x the whole into d omega, where a of omega is equal to 1 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of v cos omega v dv, and b of omega is equal to 1 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of v sin omega v dv. So this Fourier integral representation can be converted to a complex form like f of x is equal to 1 by 2 pi double integral minus infinity to infinity f of v e raised to I omega x minus v dv d omega after certain steps. And this equation number 1 can be written as a product of exponential function, that is, this e raised to I omega into x minus v can be splitted into two, that is e raised to I omega x and e raised to minus I omega v, and then 1 by 2 can be 2 pi can be written as 1 by root 2 pi into 1 by root 2 pi. And each integral takes each 1 by root 2 pi. Then f of x becomes 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity in bracket 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of v e raised to minus I omega v dv into e raised to I omega x d omega. Now you can see two integrals here. The integral inside is going to be known as the Fourier transform, and this Fourier transform, including this Fourier transform, we will get f of x, and this f of x is going to be known as the inverse Fourier transform. So let us see our next slide. So in our previous slide, we have seen the two integrals. So the integral inside can be given x instead of v. Okay, there we can write v is equal to x, and we will get a formula like this. That is 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. And this is known as the Fourier transform. And it is representation or notation is given as capital F of omega or script f of f. You can use any two notation, either f of omega or script f of f, where f is the given function. So the formula for Fourier transform is f of omega is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Now with this third equation, you can get inverse Fourier transform. That is, after substituting the expression in the bracket as f of omega, you will get f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of omega e raised to I omega x d omega. And this is the inverse Fourier transform of f of omega. It is also denoted by script f inverse of f, where f is the given function. So for Fourier transform, the notation is f of omega or script f of f. And the formula is 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. And inverse Fourier transform, the formula is f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of omega e raised to I omega x d omega, and is denoted as small f of x or script f inverse of f. Now let us see some solved problems of Fourier transform and its inverse. The first question, find the Fourier transform of f of x is equal to 1 if modulus x less than 1 and f of x is equal to 0 otherwise. Let us write the solution. Given f of x is equal to 1 if modulus x less than 1 and 0 otherwise. Then we have the Fourier transform equation small f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Now 1 by root 2 pi integral, the limit is modulus x less than 1. So it is from minus 1 to 1. So integral minus 1 to 1, 1 into e raised to minus I omega x dx. Then on integrating we will get 1 by root 2 pi e raised to minus I omega x divided by minus I omega x and the limit from minus 1 to 1. Now let us see the next slide. After giving the limit, we will get 1 by root 2 pi into minus I omega into e raised to minus I omega minus e raised to I omega. That is 1 by I omega into root 2 pi e raised to I omega minus e raised to minus I omega. We have e raised to I omega as cos omega plus I sin omega and e raised to minus I omega as cos omega minus I sin omega. So when subtracting both, you will get 2I sin omega. So that implies 1 by I omega root 2 pi into 2I sin omega. I will get cancelled. Then the answer is root 2 by pi sin omega by omega. Now let us see the second question. Find the Fourier transform of f of x is equal to e raised to minus ax for x greater than 0 and f of x is equal to 0 if x less than 0. Here a is greater than 0. Now our solution is given f of x is equal to e raised to minus ax for x greater than 0 and 0 for x less than 0. We have the Fourier transform. Script f of e raised to minus ax is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral 0 to infinity e raised to minus ax into e raised to minus I omega x dx. That is 1 by root 2 pi into e raised to minus can be taken outside. Then e raised to minus of a plus I omega the whole into x. And integrating you will get divided by minus a plus I omega and the limit from 0 to infinity. After giving the limit, the e raised to minus infinity will be 0. Then we will get the lower limit and there is a negative sign. So negative into the denominator's negative will give positive and the answer is 1 by root 2 pi into 1 divided by a plus I omega. Our example 3, find the Fourier transform of f of x where f of x is equal to 1 minus x square for modulus x less than 1 and 0 for modulus x greater than 1. Using inverse Fourier transform, we have to show that integral 0 to infinity sin omega minus omega cos omega divided by omega cube into cos omega by 2 the whole into d omega is equal to 3 pi by 60. So what we are going to do here is, for the first part we are going to use the Fourier transform and the answer we get there we will substitute it in the inverse Fourier transform formula and then prove the second part. Let us go through it. First part, for the given function you can write as f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity e raised to minus I omega x f of x dx, which is our formula. That is 1 by root 2 pi. The limit here is from minus 1 to 1, integral minus 1 to 1. Then instead of f of x it is 1 minus x square into e raised to minus I omega x dx. In the next step we are going to write the complex form, that is e raised to minus I omega is going to be written as cos omega x minus I sin omega x. And now our f of x is 1 minus x square. Let us see whether it is an even or odd function. F of x, if f of x is equal to f of minus x, then we can say that the function is even. Or if f of x not equal to f of minus x, then we can say it is odd. So here f of x is equal to 1 minus x square and f of minus x is also equal to 1 minus x square. Therefore, our given function is even. So even into even will give even function. Here cos is even function and sine is odd function. So 1 minus x square into cos omega is an even function. Whereas 1 minus x square into sine omega is an odd function. Because even into odd will give odd function. Therefore, the integral of sine part will be 0. That is integral minus 1 to 1 minus x square sine omega x dx is equal to 0. Then we will be having only the cos part. Now let us see the next slide. So the cos part is even, so it can be written as 2 by root 2 pi integral 0 to 1 minus x square cos omega x dx. Now we are going to integrate this. We are having two functions. One is 1 minus x square and the other one is cos omega x. So you can use integration by parts. That is 2 by root 2 pi. Here first function is 1 minus x square. Second function is cos omega x. So that is 1 minus x square into integral of cos, that is sine omega x divided by omega, minus derivative of first function, that is minus 2x into minus cos omega x divided by omega square plus 2 sine omega x divided by omega cube, and give the limit. After substituting the limit, you will get the answer 4 by root 2 pi sine omega minus omega cos omega divided by omega cube after taking the LCM. So this answer we are going to substitute in our inverse Fourier transform. The formula is f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to I omega x d omega. That is 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity 4 by root 2 pi sine omega minus omega cos omega divided by omega cube into e raised to I omega x d omega. That is 2 by pi integral minus infinity to infinity sine omega minus omega cos omega divided by omega cube into cos omega x plus I sine omega x d omega. Here also we can use the even and odd function property. So let us see, sine omega is an odd function. Omega is odd, cos is even. So odd into even is odd. So the numerator is odd minus odd, that is odd function. And the denominator is odd function because it is omega cube. Therefore odd by odd will give even function. So sine omega minus omega cos omega divided by omega cube is an even function. Now what about cos and sine? Cos is even, sine is odd. So the sine part will vanish and only the cos part will come. So let us see the next slide. So here the sine part will be equal to 0. Then we will be only having the cos part, that is 4 by pi integral 0 to infinity. Since it is even, we can change the limit minus infinity to infinity to 2 into integral 0 to infinity. So it is 4 by pi integral 0 to infinity sine omega minus omega cos omega divided by omega cube the whole into cos omega x d omega, which is equal to 1 minus x square if modulus x less than 1 and 0 if modulus x greater than 1. That is f of x part. Now we need to have cos omega by 2. For that, substitute x is equal to 1 by 2. Therefore, integral 0 to infinity sine omega minus omega cos omega divided by omega cube cos omega by 2 d omega is equal to pi by 4 into 1 minus 1 by 2 the whole square, that is 1 by 4. So the answer is 3 pi by 16. Example 4. Find the amplitude representation of the function f of t is equal to 5 for minus 2 less than equal to t less than equal to 2 and 0 otherwise. So amplitude representation means we are asked to find out the Fourier transform, because we know that time domain is converted to frequency amplitude domain. So amplitude representation means the Fourier transform. So we are having the equation script f of x is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. Here instead of x you may also use t, because the variable given there is t. So that is 1 by root 2 pi integral minus 2 to 2 5 into e raised to minus I omega x dx. Then 5 by root 2 pi, on integrating you will get e raised to minus I omega x divided by minus I omega x from minus 2 to 2. After giving the limit, you can write 5 by root 2 pi minus 1 by omega e raised to minus 2I omega minus e raised to 2I omega the whole divided by I. That is 5 by root 2 pi into 1 by omega I e raised to 2I omega minus e raised to minus 2I omega. So we know e raised to 2I omega as cos 2 omega plus I sin 2 omega, and e raised to minus 2I omega as cos 2 omega minus I sin 2 omega. That is, the final answer is 10 by root 2 pi sin 2 omega by omega. Example 5. Find the inverse Fourier transform of capital F of the omega, that is equal to 1 if modulus omega less than omega naught and 0 if modulus omega greater than omega naught. That is, inverse Fourier transform is script f dash of f of x, that is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity f of omega e raised to I omega x d omega. That is 1 by root 2 pi integral minus omega naught to omega naught e raised to I omega x d omega. So after integrating we will get the final answer. After integrating and applying the limit, we will get the final answer root 2 by pi sin omega naught x divided by x. As this is the inverse Fourier transform, the function we obtain will be in term of x, whereas the function we obtain in Fourier transform will be in terms of omega. Example 6. Find the Fourier transform of unit step function and unit impulse function, which is also known as Dirac delta function. So this unit step function and unit impulse function, the definition should be by hearted. So let us begin. Unit step function is represented as ua of x, that is equal to 0 if x less than a and 1 if x greater than equal to a. That means the limit is from a to infinity and the function is 1 as its name denotes. Then script f of ua of x, because we need to find out the Fourier transform of unit step function. Then the formula is 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity ua of x e raised to minus I omega x dx. And then 1 by root 2 pi integral a to infinity, instead of ua of x the value is 1, so 1 into e raised to minus I omega x dx. So after integrating and applying the limit, we will get 1 by root 2 pi into e raised to minus I a omega divided by I omega. Next, the unit impulse function definition is given. The Dirac delta at t is equal to a, denoted by delta t minus a, satisfies the following properties. First one, delta t minus a is equal to 0 for t not equal to a. And second one, integral a minus epsilon to a plus epsilon delta t minus a dt is equal to 1 for any epsilon greater than 0. And third, integral a minus epsilon to a plus epsilon f of t delta t minus a dt is equal to f of a for any epsilon greater than 0. So this is the definition for unit impulse function. Now let us find out the Fourier transform. F of delta t minus a is equal to 1 by root 2 pi integral minus infinity to infinity delta t minus a into e raised to minus I omega t dt. that is 1 by root 2 pi. The limit here is a minus epsilon to a plus epsilon. Then integral a minus epsilon to a plus epsilon delta t minus a into e raised to minus I omega t dt. By applying the property 3, that is f of t delta t minus a dt is equal to f of a. Here our f of t is e raised to minus I omega t. So the answer will be f of a, that is e raised to minus I omega a. Okay. 1 by root 2 pi integral a minus epsilon to a plus epsilon e raised to minus I omega t delta t minus a dt will become e raised to minus I omega a divided by root 2 pi by property 3.